Shalom, first and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace, love, salutations, and many barak, many blessings, or barakiam to you, Akim, and you, Akwat, you brothers and sisters out there that's doing this thing, walking that straight path in sincerity, man, to the best of your ability, And, this is beginning to get to the point where we beating a dead horse, concerning this mark, but I had a thought this morning, and then I also began to look for a video, and I came across some things that just kind of, it's just like I said, it's just like beating a dead horse. These people are completely blind, and they want to continue to argue. So I had this thought, right? If the mark is spiritual, then what is that spiritual mark? Because when you bring out these scriptures that these people try to use, like this right here, right? I'm gonna get into this deeper, but he said, okay, what kind of microchip was Moses, Ezekiel, and John and Isaiah speaking about? First of all, wasn't no microchip back then, you see? But you guys want to be simple. Read the seal mark on the forehead, spiritual or physical. Deuteronomy 6, 7, and 8. And I shall teach them diligently unto thy children. It's talking about the laws. Talking to them when I sit in thine house. So let's get to the point. And thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thine hand, and they shall be as frontlets between thine eyes. Now, of course, we know that this is spiritual. Of course, we know this is spiritual, right? Because you're not supposed to print anything upon your body. So they're going off. You see? Talking about, now we know this is spiritual. Salaki, let's just continue. This is spiritual. And the Lord said unto him, go to the midst of the city, in the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men, that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. And Salaki, I didn't pull this up before I started the video. I'm going to pull it up now, if my internet will come on. And then I always want to act slow when you got to do something, I do need to do an update here. Update my Java. All right. So here we go. Get Ezekiel. Oop, wrong one. Back to the books. Ezekiel 9. Minute. Oh, okay. I thought I went to 22. Ezekiel 9 and 4, right? See, if I'm not mistaken, this is the Wob or Thaw. Desired mark, but it goes back to the word the Wa, to mark, to set a mark, to scrabble, limit, mark, to make or set a mark, to set a mark. To Wa, mark as a sign of from judgment, of exemption from judgment. So in this particular situation, it's a spiritual mark that means exemption from judgment. So I get jumbling over my words there. So I'm gonna go back to the comment. Ezekiel 9 and 6. Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women, but come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary. And they began at the ancient men which were before the house. Blah blah blah. Spewing. All right, Revelation 7 and 2 and 3 saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of the Most High in their forehead, Bind up to Isaiah 8 and 16, bind up the testimony, seal the law among my disciples. There's nothing new, blah, blah, blah. There's nothing in the New Testament that is not confirmed in the Old. All right, but the Most High said this is going to be a time such as never was before, And let's see here. Let's see. Gotta find this scripture here. Salakia, just bear with me. I may add a little music to this later and like edit it or whatever, put in post production. Trying to look and see if there's something in this particular chapter. Con. All right, so Ezekiel 28. Because this is a way of showing you You know, because this is relating to the Edomites, to Esau, to, you know, this is prophetic. Of course, back then it was the king of Tyrus, but this is also referencing these times. See, the word of the Lord came again unto me, saying, Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, because thine heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am a God, I sit in the seat of God in the midst of the seas, yet thou art a man and not God, though thou set thine heart as the heart of God. You know? So the point is, and also it talks about thy traffic. You notice it's talking about Babylon the Great, man. You know? So these people have set their heart as the heart of God. You see? All right, so I said that to make this point. Let me go back to the comments. Because he said there's nothing in the Old Testament that confirms, that talks about the mark. Well, you got to understand, if the mark of the beast is the RFID microchip, which we believe it is, that it is the microchip, because you can't buy or sell without it. You see? And there's just a lot of points to address. But if it is the microchip, we know it has RFID technology. We know that a part of that technology is GPS. We know that GPS allows him to further monitor you more than he's already doing. He's already tapped into your computer. He's already tapped into your phone. Once you get the chip in your hand, he's going to know where you are. Hell, it may be able to listen to, it may be able to hear your voice. It's going to be in your body. It's going to know your heart rate. It's going to know your physical location at all times. Your body's going to power it because your body generates electricity. I mean, you know, so in the Old Testament, it's prophesying about a king or a king that's or a group of people, which is the Edomites, that are trying to set themselves up as God. And we know, what does it say about God? About Yahweh? Lucky. Ecclesiasticus 23:19. Such a man only feareth the eyes of men, and knoweth not that the eyes of the Lord are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, beholding all the ways of men and considering the most secret parts. So if they trying to set their heart up like the Most High, if they trying to be like the Most High, which we already know about the man of sin being revealed, you know, exalted himself above, Slaki, above all that is all. So if we know the man of sin is Esau Edom, and he's exalting himself to try to be above all that is called the Most High, what system is he using to truly try to be like Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai? What system is he setting up to where his eyes can be upon all the ways of men? Because when you in your crib, let's say you go in your house, you ain't got no computer, you ain't got no cell phone, you ain't got none of that. How he gonna keep an eye on you? Oh yeah, you know what? You can't buy unless you got this chip. Boom, you now linked into the system officially. 2 Thessalonians 2:4, who opposeth and exalteth himself. Let's go a little bit higher. We'll load. Second Thessalonians 2:3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, the son of destruction, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called the Most High, or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. You know? And so here he goes prophesying, hey, thou hast said, I am a God. I sit in the seat of God in the midst of the seas, yet thou art man and not God, though thou set thine heart as the heart of God. See? And the Edomites are wiser than Daniel. Behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from thee. They know these things. They know these. They know a lot of stuff, man. They know stuff that you couldn't imagine, you know, that you wouldn't even think about. With thy wisdom and thy understanding hast thou gotten thee riches, and hast gotten gold and silver into thy treasures. By thy great wisdom and by thy traffic hast thou increased thy riches, and thine heart is lifted up because of thy riches. The trading that they've been doing, selling slaves, you know. So anyway, that was just a quick side note. So now to the little revelation or the little thought that I had. All right. So if we know that this mark that's set upon the heads of the brothers is the mark of the sign of exemption from judgment, and it also is the mark of having the name of the Most High. Let's get that real quick, because I was intending this to be a real quick lesson, but all right. So let me get to it. Name of our God. Name written in their forehead. Slovakia. Revelation. Yep, here we go. So this is what this represents. This is what the mark represents here. Of course, it's not going to be physically written, but it's going to be in your mind. Revelation 14:1. And I looked, and lo, a lamb, Yahushua, stood on the Mount of Zion, and with him 144,000 having his father's name written in their foreheads. And knowing that name, believing in that name, trying to the best of your ability to do what's right and what's proper, can get you that that mark of exemption from judgment. Adawan Ratazai, if it be the Lord's will. So this is that mark right here, spiritual. So if this is the mark on the right hand side, what's the mark on the left hand side? If it's spiritual, like y'all say, what's that? The name of Satan written in your forehead, believing in the name of Satan, worshiping the name of Satan, doing what it takes to have the mark of the name of Satan on you. You see? So when you say that, oh, it's a spiritual mark, and you acting like, we already addressed the not being able to buy or sell about it, but you say it's a spiritual mark and the mark of the beast is spiritual. So what is that mark? Worshiping Satan? Now, this has already been touched on by the brothers. I don't know if people even paying attention. They can't be paying attention. All right, so let's go into what's the Hebrew word for mark in the book of Revelation. Is that spiritual, or can Esau give you a spiritual mark? The word mark, or charagma, in Revelation 13 means to imprint, a stamp, or imprinted mark. Okay. Now, go to it. Revelation 13. Oh, why did I open this up? Lucky. Come on, load on up. Okay, Revelation 13. Open up the Strongs. All right, so when we go into Mark G5480, a stamp and imprinted mark of the mark stamped on the forehead or right hand as the badge of the followers of the Antichrist. The mark branded upon horses, thing carved, sculpture, graven work of idolatrous images. See? Now, one of the definitions is a stamp and imprinted mark. The second, the part A of that stamp or imprinted mark, is the mark stamped on the forehead or the right hand as the badge of the followers of the Antichrist, which there are many Antichrists. The mark branded upon horses. Why? So why is brand lumped in with a stamp? Okay, let's see. Because when you also go into Revelation 13, right? It goes into, let's see here, so like, yeah. And that, okay, Revelation 13 and 17, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, okay, the chip, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. So why does it say the number of his name? Because it all goes together. The name and the number of the name and the market, it all goes together, man. So let's see. what the number of the beast is. Here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast. For it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. Okay, let's see. Chi, Xi, stigma. Chi, Xi, stigma. Okay. And you see that last word, stigma. Boom. Let's copy it. Go over here to the etymology so we can learn what words mean. Said you can't buy unless you have the number of his name. Well, let's see what the number of his name is. What does this Greek word mean? Stigma. Greek stigma. Genitive stigmatos. Mark of a pointed instrument. Puncture. Tattoo mark. Brand. So when we go back into Revelation 13, we go to G5480. The mark branded upon horses, the mark stamped on the forehead or right hand, a stamp and imprinted mark. How do you imprint something? Like you brand it, you know? Stamp is a light way of putting it, because guess what? I don't know nothing about no permanent stamps. Maybe they got them. But you know what's real permanent? Inserting something in your hand or putting a brand on you. And what does a brand represent? Represents ownership, man. Even tells you right there, the mark branded upon horses. When you put a brand on a horse, what does that mean? That means that's your horse. If the beast puts a mark on you, that means you his human. A mark of servitude. The mark stamped on the forehead or right hand is the badge of the followers of the Antichrist, the beast system, you know? So people believe what they want to believe. To get up on the comment board, you know, let's see, do he have any works besides the comment board? This channel doesn't have any content, but he all on the comment board, telling brothers who out here preaching what it is and what it ain't. Okay, you're going off. Okay. So anyway, you know, I just want to touch on that briefly. You know, like I said, like the overall point of this was, and I might have to touch on that comment too. The overall point that I was trying to get to was, what is that mark then? You know, how they gonna verify that you are? Let's say the mark is that you have to be a Satanist, because we know this whole place is against Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. So what, you gotta pretend to be a Satanist, and then they gonna let you buy some food? You gotta go in there talking about some Hail Satan or whatever the case may be, you know, before they let you buy some food. No, it's gonna be a physical mark, man, and they're already conditioning people to go to take the mark, man. The number of his name. Look at barcodes. It got 666 in them. This whole system, you know. But once they fully make it electronic, you're gonna have that chip, man. And like I was going into at camp, the chip is, they already putting a form of the chip in your credit cards and making it mandatory. If you got it, you gotta put it in. You can't swipe no more. They're conditioning you. You have to use the chip. They're making it easy for you to get used to the chip. Fast Pass, Fast Pay, Swipe and Pay, you know, Cash App. They're making it all electronic. Why are they doing this? If it's just about a spiritual mark, why not just keep it cash? See? It ain't more convenient. It takes more time. Wait for it to verify. Type it in. You know, it's slower than sliding your card. It's slower. So what excuse do they have to implement it? But you guys don't think about shit like this. You just believe what you want to believe. You see? You believe what you want to believe. Then he want to sit here and try to play semantics, you know? Oh, if it's spiritual, there's no workaround accepting it or rejecting it. There is a workaround accepting it or rejecting it. I'm going to get into this comment. But if physical, there are too many workarounds that will allow someone to continue to buy or sell without receiving a chip. A wealthy person can have others that have a chip to buy and sell for them. If a person receives a chip in their arm or neck, they be able to use it to buy and sell. Doing so allows one to avoid getting it in their hand or forehead. It doesn't matter. It says if you have the number of his name, if you take it in any form, you will be destroyed, man. The scripture tells you that, man. All right. Revelation 14 and 11. And the smoke of their torment ascendeth up forever and ever, and they have no rest day or night, who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. You know? You see? Now, by your own logic, what's stopping that same rich person from hiring somebody who spiritually accepts the beast system to go, hey, go shop for me? What's stopping them? You see? What's stopping them? If you're spiritual, there's no workaround accepting you to reject. How? You can lie about it. You could just lie. Oh, yeah, I don't study that much, but yeah, I'm down with that. Yeah, I'm part of that system. You can lie about it. It's not that easy, man. Now, with that mark, that same thing could apply. Possibly, if they could get somebody, oh, you got the mark? Hey, man, go buy something for me. Now, really, in actuality, this is a false statement, because once cash becomes useless, they ain't gonna be able to use. What you gonna do? You ain't gonna be able to send them no money because you ain't gonna have the chip. You ain't gonna have the technology to be able to utilize those electronic funds if you have any. You see, so this is a lie, man. You know, just like they track. If you notice, every celebrity, they give them a black card. They give them a black card because they want to track what they doing. Them celebrities don't get to walk around with millions of dollars like that. They got to use their card for what the stuff they want to buy, man. So they can see, okay, he didn't go help a bunch of people out with that money. He didn't go buy 49 schools with that money. He didn't go do this or do that with that money. He went and bought him a chain. He went to Africa. He went to Paris. We track that. Yeah. Here go the transaction. It happened on the 29th. They track that stuff, man. It's just like they're gonna track your chip, man. So anyway, this lesson is getting long, man. Hey, look, man. You take the mark of the beast, there's no salvation for you, man. That's gonna be it. All right? You're gonna die. All praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Peace, love, salutation to you. Hopefully elect out there, and you sisters that listen, and you brothers that make your body a living sacrifice for Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. With that, I'll say shalom.